Welcome back to a building tutorial, and today we're going to be showing you how to make your own custom trees in Minecraft. So, the first thing that I learned when building custom trees is picking your block palette. And first off, you kind of want to get your rooted thing. So, if you're going to build a oak tree, you want to get blocks that look sort of like it. So, sort of like this. So, you get the oak planks right here, and then the oak's fence stuff right here also to kind of integrate into a tree for your custom tree. And then secondly, you kind of just go off of like what you feel when it comes, or sort of what you feel, like a close similar but darker color of tree, or even a lighter color of block next after that, and then you just pick your leaf from there. So I'm going to be doing spruce right over here when it comes to spruce fence and spruce gate, and then I'll be doing the oak leaves also for this part. The first thing that I kind of thought that was pretty cool is that I start personally with a plank going up like maybe 3 or 4 blocks up, just like that. And then you can do like your little plank or bottom of your whole entire tree, something like this or like this in a sense, and then add oak slabs down here and there to kind of create dimensions to the whole entire base of the tree and everything. After you have done sort of that and kind of gotten your base done, you go to the second part of the tree, which for me is doing something like that next. But after this, the pattern doesn't really matter too much. I could do this and then, or spruce and then oak logs, and then after that, just like that, or I could just do this, keep the spruce right there and be done with it. So if I'm going to be done with it on this height right here, I want to add like maybe 1 or 2 fence gates to the top, spruce fence gates, just like that. After doing that, I kind of recommend you do only 2 huge limbs. So something like this to an extent. Boom, 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 right there. So sort of out, but not too far out where it goes out to like right here. And then right after you get done with that, you kind of want to like destroy some of these blocks, make it thin looking, maybe sort of like that, or you can keep that one on right there and add your fence gates connecting this whole entire thing right here, and then do it like that, because now you have sort of like a more vertical or diagonal type limb instead of just logs sticking out every single where. And then you would repeat that again on like a higher branch, so sort of like this, boom boom right there, and then destroy a couple blocks that I want to. Placing down these fence gates right here is to keep up, to make it stable and everything when it comes to the tree and its overall roots and everything, because if it's thicker right here, like you don't really maybe need a fence gate to hold it up, whereas right here there's nothing really holding on to it, so maybe a fence gate would kind of work. After you have done 2 big branches like this, it could be in any direction like that, but relatively on opposite sides, you kind of want to do your thinner branches like this. So you want to get your spruce, or no, oak fence right here, and then go out like this. It can be like 1 limb like that, so just connecting like that, but ultimately I usually do 2 just so it can hold itself up a little bit more, and then go out maybe right there, and then a little bit of a point at the top right there. But I want to show you a little bit of a different one right here. So we have one right here going out right here, boom, right here, and then I want to have another one go out right here to that point blank. But I also have this one going a little farther up in a sense, boom, just like that, and then putting the spruce on the top right there. And then I could actually have maybe, say, a spruce fence going out like that to kind of create that branch right there. And this is what you have right here. More of a bare tree that has no leaves or anything on it. Now, for me, this was the most hardest part for me when it comes to a custom tree build, and it's placing down your leaves. The 2 recommendations that I heard was make sure that the birds can fly through it. So instead of like doing a huge clump or something like this all together, you do like sporadic placing, just like this. But I also implemented another one. So this little design or type thing was from Gemini Tay. BOO said this: which I kind of implemented both. He said do a spherical look around the tree in a sense, so around a branch or circular type look. So if I wanted to, I kind of encroach this part right here around, boom, 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 a little bit like that. And then I kind of keep a portion off a little bit like this in a sense. And then ultimately have a spherical type look just like that to a portion, which right now that doesn't look that great. So I would keep it right there and then do it like that. And then instead of keep on going around on down to the branch, you just go to the other branch to another end. So like right here, this one's smaller in a sense. So I could actually kind of keep this part right here from going that big like this one, and then have it just like that. And then, or technically do it right here too. Just depends on what you want when it comes to a tree and how much leaves you want to have. But let me come over here, right here, destroy, do all this around, kind of encroach all this right here. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that. And keep on doing it for every single one of these other branches. After you have done that, you want to start focusing on the center one. So with how tall this is right here, you kind of want to maybe start right here and then start going a little bit out. So technically you're still doing that spherical / circular look overall on this branch right here. So you keep on going out a little bit, making it circular in a sense, but continuing to get that circle type look around it. And then when you get close to the top, you want to kind of complete that circle just like any other one, and then destroy some of the branches. And it sort of looks like that, just right there, which we're not done yet. Overall, this still looks very weird, but this was BOO's sort of like implementation into the thing that I kind of thought of. But now we're going to kind of implement Gemini Tay's thing. So sporadic placing of leaves right here. So stuff like this all over. So like kind of skip, make the leaves make sense when it comes to placement and stuff. Not really touching one another in a sense, but making it where you can see the trees like encroaching or kind of shading you in a sense. And then also you can kind of make this a little bit thicker also to make it a thicker oval / circle to make it even more vibrant. And then also I kind of would do that on this side too, just since it's a taller tree. And then you can keep on placing a little bit more leaves just all over the place, just like that. Maybe not too far down because sometimes it will look pretty trash like that. And then right here too. And now you have your own little custom tree right there. And then let's take you on over to one of my other custom trees that I originally built. So this one is kind of the same style and everything, kind of skipping over a little parts like here you can do on the tree, and then also stuff right up here, which is still looks very realistic and everything. From up here it kind of looks weird, but when you come down here it looks very integrated into the build and everything, which this was one of my first ones, and this is one of my second ones. You can do a droopy tree like this also. It just depends on what your palette is and how much you want to do, like sporadic. This is the Gemini Tay look. This is more of the BOO look with the Gemini Tay look a little bit into it. And then like this is the incorporation of both over time and everything. Just kind of implementing more and more over here and there, just like that. But anyways, that's how you make a custom tree in Minecraft.